Good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of the Coach's Corner. With me, as always, to my left is the coach, Todd Kiley. Coach, how are we doing this week?
Doing awesome.
Getting ready for Milford. Let's. I mean, I don't. It's really hard to dig into a game like last weekend, but there's a couple things you can take away from it. Offensively, your first 3 or 4 possessions, you pick up 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dare held to 3 possessions, minus 13 yards, I think. Everything's going your way. At what point now do you start worrying? You're still in a football game. When do we start making changes? Do you worry about injuries at that point? You know, freak injuries happen, stuff like that.
I think you can never worry about the injuries. I was proud of the way our guys came out and approached the game. We talked about it's about us and improving what we do, and just going out and playing Franklin football. And that's what our kids did from play one till that last second came off the clock. Whether it was the ones in there or the rotation kids or the twos that got in there.
I thought the defense in that first half was very violent.
Yeah,
which is always a
They're
good
excellent.
thing to see.
Defense has been great all season long, and they were no different Friday night. And we talked about it. Championship teams, regardless of the opponent, you play. Nothing changes. And if we want to be a championship team, we have to play like that. And kids came out and did play like that. So, and you talk about the injuries. You obviously don't want to be negligent in anything you do, but you still gotta, you play it like every other game. And if you have an opportunity to get in some guys that work hard, that have earned time. I was happy that we, in the first half, we were able to get in some kids that are just on the cusp of breaking that lineup. And had some good minutes from those kids. And and then the second half we got some of the twos in there and the threes. Got some freshmen in. I was proud that we got every single kid on
awesome.
that sideline into the game. And for a freshman, I remember back when I was a freshman, to get into a varsity game is a huge deal. So I'm hoping that they didn't take that moment for granted and made the most of it, and it seemed like they did. A bunch of them came.
No, they were all very excited. They had those 7 or 8 guys had a pretty good weekend. They got to play the JV game.
Yep.
And they got into a varsity game, so it was a really good weekend for them.
Absolutely.
How do you keep your starters focused when the score is just rolling downhill like that?
It goes back to the mindset that I was talking about. It's 0-0. You keep playing Franklin football. Keep doing your job to the best of your ability. And you can't worry about the score. You can never worry about the score. And again, our kids I thought did a phenomenal job in that area.
Do you worry about the other team as well? I mean, it was obviously so lopsided, and their whole season's been lopsided. Do you worry about the perception of running up a score or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to, you never want, whether it's, whether you're intentionally doing it, which we've never done that, intentionally run up the score, but you don't want that to appear that way either. But you need to play, these kids need to play at least, ideally 3 quarters. We didn't play 3 quarters with the starters. Because otherwise you're missing, you're skipping a week, just conditioning, and you get into the, towards the end of the season, into the playoffs, you need to be well conditioned. So, we knew that our kids, we were going to go at it for at least that first series after the first half on both sides of the ball, and then if there was an opportunity to make some changes, we were going to do it then. And like I said, we got in some rotation kids before that, but those are rotation kids. So then we got into our twos, and our twos did great too. It's good to see them out there. You get to see what they have, and we talked about, you get an opportunity, prove to the coaches that you belong out there.
So do you ever see anything in a game like that where you say, wow, can't believe that we put him in there and that act, the light bulb went off or anything. Like
Yeah,
that.
oh, absolutely. You always see. I mean, that's the fun part about going back to these type of games. It's you find those kids. Ooh, like, all right, that kid might be a little bit more ready than we thought.
Definitely someone who can help next year.
Absolutely, So I mean, the more minutes that those guys can get, the better off. Especially the ones that are coming back and getting experience, some varsity experience under their belt, is important. But I thought our kids did a great job in all phases of that game.
So you're winding down the end of the regular season. One game left. You have Milford coming up, and then it's playoff season. What's one thing that the average fan doesn't see that maybe you've taken away from this season?
Well, it's tough to say what the average fan is seeing and not seeing. Well, just the work that these guys are putting in.
Right.
Our staff and how hardworking they are. The amount of hours that go into this. But we do it. We do it because we love it. We love working with the kids. When you see the kids working this hard, you just want it for them.
Right. The kids were out there for almost 3 hours today.
Yeah. So their work. They're putting in the time. It's not just about the time. It's the effort and the energy and the attitude they bring every day. It's just, I really do look forward to, I take that 15-minute ride from Holliston every day, and I'm excited to get here because of what the kids bring to each practice.
I don't think it goes unmentioned too. Like you said, what the coaches put into a season. I don't think the regular person out there, and I think we've touched on this once or twice before, what the coaches put in the amount of time they put in. Not just yourself, who lives in you're the head coach, you live and breathe this, but the assistant coaches all the way down the line to everybody.
Yeah, there is to do it the right way. It does. It requires. It seems like it requires every second outside of eating and sleeping and obviously
Your regular job
that pays the bills. But every second outside of that is put into football, and you got the spouses and significant others at home that are impacted by this too, and you need you need to have somebody, that companion that understands it, and that not only understands it but willing to jump in. My wife she's outstanding. She just, instead of I know some wives may want to complain about it here and there, and they have every right to do that. She doesn't do any of that. She jumps on board. So she's the one that makes the hammers for the kids, our hammer award that we give out each week, and she's the one holding down the fort at home when a lot of the things that are getting neglected during the fall. She's picking up the pieces for that, and as well as our kids as well. And then come banquet time, she's a big piece of that and helping out with that. So I'm sure she's not the only spouse part of the staff that's sacrificing. So
let's build off that for a second. So we'll put Sharon in the rear view. Milford's coming up. It's senior night. You have been a coach for several senior nights, but you were also a parent for senior night. How was that experience for you and your wife after seeing countless other seniors go through with their families?
Yeah, that was an extremely emotional night. As you bring it up, I'm starting to get emotional. Just because just the time that is put into this thing, from a parent's perspective and a coach's perspective, and I had to wear two hats during that time. But it's a special time, and that's why I've said it since my first year of coaching. We never want to shortchange this night, because it means a lot to the parents, and as a player, you think I think about back when I was playing. You just want to play the game, and you can, I guess you can view this as a little bit of a distraction, and we make sure that we don't view it not even 1% as that. It's more of a, no, this is adding to our night here, and we're going to treat it as such, and it's a night to celebrate and and reflect a little bit, and and the younger guys are playing for the older guys, playing for the seniors, and to get all those families out on the field at once to sort of celebrate this last home game with our seniors. It's quite a night.
Sure.
It's quite a night.
It's emotional. I've been through a few myself.
I was going to ask you.
Actually,
like,
two.
Yeah.
I had twins at one, and then my oldest son. But I did wear two hats too because I put down the microphone and have to go outside.
I know, right? So
But yeah,
that must have been emotional for
Oh
you.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
It's a night you won't forget. Your spouse doesn't forget.
Yep.
Your kids may forget it. They'll look back and see the pictures.
Initially they forget,
right?
but then they'll look back at the pictures and the video, and it'll mean a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
So you have Milford after that, and that's a huge game. What does Milford bring to the table?
They're a good football team. They're they're a couple plays away from being 5-2 right now. They've lost a couple of real close games. They're a physical football team. They got athletes all over the place. The ball hasn't bounced their way in a couple of situations. So you just you hope the ball doesn't bounce their way Friday. No, but we're ready. We're definitely ready for this game. But we know the challenge that lies ahead here, and we know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be an absolute war Friday night, and our kids they're ready for this challenge.
Now, playoffs. You've already clinched the playoff spot. When do you find out where you are seated? When does the final ranking come out?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Do they wait till Tuesday to tell you?
Um,
Or can you get an idea of?
well, you know what?
Because you don't want to start scouring for tape on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
I'm sorry. So it's Tuesday every week, and then this, I believe it's Sunday by I think 2 p.m. or something. I don't know the exact
Usually
time.
drifts till 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm going off my memory from years past. But no, it is Sunday. But yeah, it's later than you want it because every year I'm trying to do my own math on it.
Right.
And we've already done some math on it to see where we might fall in this, just because you want to get a little bit of a head start on certain things. Certainly not getting a head start on the skiing part of things, but just everything that goes into this first round of playoffs. It hits you like that, and you got to get moving on it. And you're playing most of the time. You're playing an opponent you know nothing about. So you're trying to do your homework. You're getting your films, and so Sunday will be a busy day for us, and hopefully, we're preparing for a home game, and that's the goal. That's the goal from day. It's the win the league title. When we start the season, win the Hawk, and then let's get a home game in the playoffs and make some noise. Right?
Absolutely.
And see where it takes us.
I wanted to just go back to Sharon for 1 second because
Right.
I neglected to say that game ball was going to Justin Bianchetta. Justin probably had his best game of his career. I think he missed 2 passes, ran for a touchdown, threw a touchdown. It was a great game for him.
Excellent game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's capable of doing that every single week. I tell him every day, he's probably sick of me. He's probably sick of hearing it from me, but sky's the limit with him. The potential is enormous. He's a talented individual he can throw it. He's athletic. He's got a great football mind. It's just now he's finally 100% healthy, and sometimes your mind can play tricks on you too when you have a physical injury. So I think we've sort of battled through that, and he's 100% healthy now, and hopefully we're looking at that same Justin every single week, and we expect that.
Oh, we could use him come playoff time.
Absolutely.
So that'll do it for us tonight. It's a short edition. It was a blowout win on Friday. We have a big game, Milford, senior night, like we touched on, and then we find out where we play in the playoffs, whether we're home, whether we're away, and who we play. We'll be back here next Wednesday night, me and the coach, and we will get back to you on the Coach's Corner. Have a great week.